Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sarala. Welcome to Millet Magic. It's an undisputed fact that mother's milk is the best food for the baby. What else can be given to babies and growing children? This is what this video is going to be all about. After a long break, we are back in conversation with Dr. Khadar. So today we thought we'll discuss with all of you on your demand the topic related to the care of babies and your children. When it comes to taking care of the babies and of the children, parents are even more cautious and have a lot of questions in their mind, and many people have been asking and writing to me regarding these questions. So I thought that it's a very good topic to discuss. So let's start off today's discussion. So the first question which many people have been asking is, what do we do if the mother is not getting sufficient quantity of milk to feed the baby? I'm talking about infants who are less than 6 months old, say 1 week old, 2 weeks old. As soon as they are born, especially after a cesarean, the mother does not start producing enough milk and the baby is crying and they feel that the baby is not having its hunger satisfied. So in such situations, what can be done?
The best natural milk, which resembles the mother's milk almost 99%, is coconut milk.
Okay.
ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾಯಿ ಹಾಲಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನ ಕಾಯಿ ಹಾಲು. So the best and the easy option also. The reason is that you can get coconut anywhere, and it's an advantageous position because you can make fresh milk whenever the baby needs. Even if it is night 12 o'clock, it just hardly takes 5 minutes to make the fresh milk. So the best milk to feed babies even at the age of 15 days. In fact, we had maybe 8-9 years ago, there is a situation where mother passed away in an accident, and the baby was saved, and so the grandmother brought the kid, and we had this very critical and difficult situation. So the baby was fed with coconut milk, and they were already indoctrinated not to give the animal milk. So the baby is now fine, and everything went well. So the best milk that you can feed your baby if you do not have milk is obviously coconut milk.
Okay. So let's tell the new viewers what would be the problem of giving milk from, say, a cow, or the first option I think which everyone goes to now is the formula milk, the powdered milk, which is easily available and what everyone thinks is very good for the baby to just mix in water and shake and warm and give the baby. So what would be the problem with this?
Not that everybody is thinking. It is this corporate culture that has made these things possible and very convenient for people, and to keep advertising that this is the way it should be. There is a problem with the regular fresh cow's milk or buffalo milk or whatever milk that you are giving, because of the hormone imbalance that the kids are introduced very early in their lives. And with the powdered, packeted, processed milk, powder milk is absolute no according to me, because it has the imbalance of the hormones plus all the chemicals that they are introducing along with it. So
At such a young age.
At such an young age. So never ever give any of these milks produced by these companies.
As soon as there is a slight dip, the baby is started off on this formula milk,
Yes.
thinking that it's very good for the baby, but the mothers are not even encouraged to try to
Yes.
increase the production of milk, or to feed regularly so that the milk production increases. So
And
that, I think that leads me to the next question. Is there any way in which mothers can naturally try to improve the output of milk?
absolutely, there are wonderful food materials that can actually help in this regard. This is traditional knowledge that we have been passed on from various corners of our India. Materials like garlic, dillweed, methi, castor oil seeds, all these wonderful greens can increase the milk production in the mothers. And also pearl millet is in
Bajra.
fact bajra. All around the world it can be grown, and so all the mothers all over the world can actually start eating pearl millet, little millet as major staple food. Then there is no dearth for the mother to produce milk.
It improves not just the quantity
not
but even the
quality
of the milk.
so that the kids do not fall prey to many diseases in the early age. And on top of it, garlic, dillweed, all these materials can certainly keep the growth of the kid. Also demands more and more milk as the baby becomes 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, the amount of milk needed. So till the age of 9 months, the baby should be given mother's milk. But of course nowadays people are all in a hurry to bypass that and feed the babies with the bottled milk, which is a wrong thing to do. And the medical world, the doctors, the gynecologists, it is their job and duty to educate the lactating mothers that they should feed the baby as long as
how important mother's milk is.
And it has a lot of bearing on their health in the future, basically. So
the base which sets their immunity.
Not only for the babies, even the mothers, if they are not feeding their babies properly, duly, they are lactating, that hormone imbalance can hit them with breast nodules or tumors or whatever. Cancer can
even
not at that time.
Not shrinking back to the normal
So
size.
all these medical reasons at least should be given, complete information should be given to the feeding mothers by these doctors, so that all these things can be avoided. One, you are feeding your baby
the best
possible food that you can give, and two, you are keeping yourself healthy in the future. So these are very important reasons that the mothers should understand. The more they feed their baby, the better for the baby as well as to themselves.
And what we forget is that any formula milk or cow's milk, the more problematic thing is many people even adding sugar into it while giving it to the baby.
Each teaspoon of sugar that you are adding to your milk is pulling down the immunity of your baby, and you are causing enormous damage to the babies.
Even otherwise, even if you don't add anything, the milk is sweeter, and the baby, once it starts getting used to that milk, it will refuse the mother's milk altogether. So the dependency on other milk becomes more. So at least for the first 6 months of the baby's life, if it is solely on mother's milk, it is best for the health of the baby and for the health of the mother, correct?
According to me, it should be 9 months.
Okay. But at least 6 months.
Yeah, okay. At least 6 months.
At least the first 6 months.
No, the simple saying, the old and traditional saying is 9 months in the tummy, 9 months at your breast. That is, of course, lot of healthy mothers can feed their babies till the age of 2. Not completely on milk, supplementing the other things as well. So the longer you feed, the better. I don't mean mothers should be always feeding the babies, but minimum of 9 months is an important aspect. And 6 months, okay, minimum of 6 months. Let me not agree with it, but let's say okay. Yeah.
So you mentioned resinous seeds. So
Yes,
you
resinous.
explain a little more about that.
Yeah, it so happens the proteins that are available in that particular castor oil,
By resinous,
resinous
resinous is the scientific name,
resinous communis,
commonly known as castor
oil.
seeds.
Yes, castor
So
seeds.
these are the seeds from which castor oil, which is usually applied to the hair, is extracted. So these seeds is what is being spoken about.
Yeah, the protein and the fat content has great influence on increasing the milk in the lactating mothers.
How should it be consumed?
Just 5 to 6 of these seeds, removing that
black husk on the
or eye, they are called black eye. Remove that and then remove the husk, and then you can
inside there's a white
seed, yeah. Yes. Like pumpkin seed, but this is a little thicker, and different varieties are there. And you can make chutney, you can add it into your sambar, or you can add into your rice, some fried rice.
Directly just eat it?
Yeah, directly also you can eat, no problem. But
how many seeds?
5 to 6 seeds are good enough.
Every day?
Yeah, at least twice in a week.
Twice or
Twice a week should be good enough.
Okay.
You don't need too much, because basically castor oil seeds cause
dysentery, diarrhea.
Not diarrhea. Yeah, they wash your
cleansing
your tummy. So don't overdo it. Just because Dr. Khadar said the castor seeds are good, and it's not going to help you. So 5 to 6 in a day for a week or 2 weeks to start with, and then initiate the process, and then twice a week is good enough.
Okay. So castor seeds are very good for lactating mothers to improve the quantity and the quality of milk taken during the period of lactation. So next, let's move on to after 6 months of age. So when they are initiating giving extra food other than the mother's milk, so how do you start this process, and what would be the ideal food to start with?
Basically, you need to keep the babies on liquid food only, because they are used to the mother's milk. So substitute with the very similar milk is coconut milk. So I would want any lactating mother after 6 months to 9 months introducing coconut's milk, and that too should be very dilute, not thick coconut milk. Yes. So, and that mothers can figure out in a matter of 2 to 3 days what suits the baby properly, and the amount and the number of times to feed depends on their requirement, their milk condition, secretion and all that. So these are all skills that you acquire in a matter of week. So
is differing from
babies to baby. There are no standard things that we can prescribe. So it's just by observing and correcting things. It happens in a matter of week.
Should this milk be heated?
You can warm it. Especially coconut milk you cannot heat directly on the stove. So you can take a water bath, boil the water, and then coconut milk containing tumbler or glass or vessel can be kept in the hot water for 4 to 5 minutes, and it gets warm, and then you can adjust the warmth depending upon the baby's.
And again, important not to put this into the plastic bottle with the plastic nipple
and then sugar, adding sugar and then tasting it's good, then you give the baby. No, please avoid that.
Using the specific spoon which is present.
Spatulas, basically they are called spatulas to feed the babies, steel or if you are rich, silver and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. So other than coconut milk, what would be the next thing to
Next best thing is finger millet, Ragi milk.
So milk extracted
from Ragi. Soak them in the night 5 to 6 hours, and then just grind it and then squeeze the milk and that also milk should be dilute, not very thick. And then ragi next would be pearl millet, bajra. That's also very good for the baby. And then we have foxtail also. In fact, there is a variety called hal navane in Kannada. That is specific
foxtail millet, which is
yielding more milk when it is squeezed.
Yeah.
So that's 3 kinds of milk you have. And of course, you can slowly graduate the baby into sesame seed milk and then groundnut milk as the baby grows.
So up from 6 months to, so let me just clarify. So 0 to 6 months would be only coconut milk.
If mother's
milk is not sufficient. Only if mother's milk is not sufficient.
Otherwise, complete mother's milk.
Yeah, complete mother's milk if there is enough. If there is a deficiency, then only coconut milk up to 6 months. 6 months to 1 year, it will be coconut milk with ragi milk also, and bajra milk. So these
pearl
3
millet.
varieties of milk
And foxtail
should
millet
be
milk.
used in alternation, or how? Like,
yeah, I would still give the baby more of coconut milk.
Okay.
That is, say 3 to 4 days in a week coconut milk. So 1 day ragi milk, 1 day bajra milk, 1 day foxtail milk. So 7 days again rotate like that.
okay,
Yeah, and then you can reduce the coconut milk as the baby grows older.
So
Because the reason why we need to do this change is coconut milk has got calcium in less quantities compared to ragi, compared to bajra, and then groundnut milk. Then comes sesame milk is the highest
in calcium.
So after the baby is 1.5 to 2 years, I would want you to give sesame milk more often, say twice a week or thrice a week, and then make these adjustments. Yes.
So after the age of 1, you can introduce peanut milk and even sesame milk.
I think I would not give sesame milk so soon.
Okay. After 1.5 years?
1.5 years, yes.
Okay.
Groundnut you can give.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would be the order in which they'll need to be introduced.
Yes.
But keeping in mind, all need to be diluted. Not very thick.
Yes.
So because it'll be difficult for the baby to digest.
And then you can warm them in the water bath method.
Yeah.
And also after 9 months or so, you can start actually feeding the baby semi-solid food.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask next. How about millets? When do you?
Yes.
How and when do you start introducing the millets?